Hello everyone, welcome back to Story Reckless. I'm Nathan, I'm the DM here, and I use he, him pronouns. I'm gonna pass it over to our players, and we're on show 1 of year 2, I guess. Year 3 of year 3.
Episode 101.
101, yeah. Claire figured out that miraculously our last episode was the 100th episode, as well as our 2-year anniversary.
That's including things like
Postmortems,
Q&As.
yeah. Anyways, players.
My name's Claire. My pronouns are they, them. I'm playing Kadam, half-elf grave cleric who has 1 spell slot left.
And my name is Olive. I use she and they pronouns, and I will be playing both Pip and Calliope. Both of them artificers, both of them up to no good. We also need nap time. It's true.
Oh yes. And yes, Enyo will not be here this week. Not sure when Enyo will be back, but that's fine. We are going to continue to play Pip, and it's going to be just fine. Cool. Well, with that, I think we can just go straight into the recap. I don't think we have any, announcements or anything, right? Cool.
I don't think so.
Cool. Let's do it then. So, last we left off, our protagonists were in the Grand Cathedral to Torm within High Hall. Looking for survivors, looking for any information on where leadership may be. They found a few survivors and discovered that there were many more hiding in the hidden catacombs below the cathedral, which Calliope knew of an entrance to get down there. And they also found out that Grand Duke Older Ravengard, I'm mixing up that name, Older Ravengard, had left for the Grand Cemetery to find High Rider Gideon Lightward about a day ago, yesterday at some point. The sense of time here is hard to track. With all that information...
No sun?
Yeah, there being no real passage of time, it is very difficult to track time. With all that...
There's an anti-sun, though, right?
There is the anti-sun, yes. The anti-sun. Is that the moon? No. No, it's not, because the moon is... Anyways, so...
I mean, no, it's the big...
I know. Yeah,
Okay.
It's the companion. Sorry, I was going on a tangent.
Dark companion.
The dark companion.
It's like Shadow the Hedgehog.
Yeah, Shadow companion. This companion's cool. It uses guns.
Companion just has arms coming out of it.
Big giant sunglasses. That's what all the lightning strikes are. The lightning guns. Sorry. Okay. Anyways, my goodness. With all that information in hand, you decided to figure out how to get below, having to bypass numerous patrols of devils by slaying them, and eventually making your way down below. However, before doing so, you went to go pick up the remaining survivors and found yourselves being watched by what Kadam assumes to be Victusa, the devil that led the charge on the cathedral and High Hall. Paranoid about what may be watching you all, when you went into the cathedral, found the secret entrance. Before entering, you spent some time, Calliope, using her artificer magic to see invisibility, spotted an invisible imp watching you all very closely. As you tried to track this thing down, as your spell was starting to fade, in the last possible moment, Pip, all of you reached out and fired in the direction of where Calliope was directing you, and Pip managed to be the fastest on the draw and hit it with one single acid arrow splatting that imp across the pillar, and feeling satisfied that you were alone, you opened the secret entrance and headed down into the crypts. This is where we're going to pick up. So, let me see here.
And looking for a long rest, I have deep concern that we've just moved to a different battle map.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
We will see what happens. Yeah. So, as Calliope, as you pulled the lever on the gauntleted hand, which peeled open, and spending some time carefully examining the palm, you found the hidden compartment within the palm, sort of pressing down on one of the creases. It popped open, and within you found the secondary lever to pull, which revealed the staircase leading down below. Walking down into the darkness below, you could see there are some oil lanterns set up down here as you go down these stone stairs. Down below, Calliope, just to kind of resolve this without spending too much time on it, you do see the secondary lever to pull, and the stairs close up behind you. You now find yourself... Yes.
I would like to, at the conclusion of that, like not even missing a beat, kind of like brandish a small shiny brass ring, and just kind of like squeak, like fit it on the finger. Okay, one second. And I think I actually I hold some light up to it, and like it kind of, there's like this glint of kind of like brassy gold, and I reach onto the ring and then start pulling out thread.
Okay.
And I just kind of spool some thread out.
Okay.
And then I start actually just kind of weaving across the staircase.
Okay.
And this is me using my spell refueling ring that I tried to offer Kidam to get a spell slot back, and then casting Arcane Lock.
Awesome. Okay, so stretching it across all the various parts. Who is this in chat? Oh, hello.
Welcome back.
Hi. Oh man, I feel like we haven't seen them in a long time. Yeah, Dockish Dark. My goodness. Thank you for joining us. Welcome back. So glad you're here. Yes, indeed. So good to see you. So you pull out this brassy thread and
and it's kind of like I'm weaving it out of light. It's like thread of light.
That's awesome. So casting Arcane Lock. Does it, as you get the final intricate patterns in place, does anything happen? Does it flash? Does there a sound? Is it...
No, I just kind of wrap it off and then kind of lick my finger to get the last little bit and just tie a granny knot.
Excellent. And as that final little piece of thread is tied in place, you see before you this intricate spiderweb pattern of brassy, almost light-like thread there.
I feel like it's not super intricate. It's just... I mean, it looks maybe intricate at first glance, but if you look closer, it's oh wait, no, this lady just was hooking around whatever kind of edges and stuff around.
So kind of haphazard.
Haphazard, yeah.
Okay, excellent. And that is set in place. What remind me again what that does?
Yeah, so you touch a closed door, window, gate, chest, or other entranceway, and it becomes locked for the duration, which is until dispelled.
My goodness. Okay.
You and the creatures you designate when you cast the spell can open the object normally. Everybody here. It doesn't actually say that the creatures I designate have to be present.
Sure.
So I might say, oh boy, I don't trust everybody in Elturel.
Wise.
And I can't say Hell Riders because they're all dead.
It's I'll just let me know who. You can think about it. You don't have to have the whole list now. In fact, you could even just send it to me in chat.
The good guys.
The good guys. Okay.
Yeah.
Of course. So with that cast, you turn around and face before you this very wide staircase, about 20 feet wide, descending downward. There's a single oil lamp set on the wall there, and then you can see it kind of, going off to the sides and continuing down as it almost like spirals down. Calliope, I'd say that your knowledge of this place, the places that Glim would have taken you, would definitely, be the area at the bottom of the staircase, and you would know that at the bottom of the staircase, there is like a shrine dedicated to. I don't know if you necessarily caught what it was. You just saw that there was a shrine there, and then to the north, Glim would have taken you to basically the like council area, and maybe you even had a council meeting in there or two, and it is a large room. With a huge like oval table with like 40 chairs around it, and it's an area where top officials go to convene, especially with the top priests of Elturel. And I'm not sure if he would have taken you anywhere further than that. Like, you would have seen branching off hallways, and very clearly there would have been like crypts off to the side, but yeah, I don't know like if it would make sense for Glim to have taken you anywhere else within here. Because the majority of this place is essentially, it is a crypt.
Yeah.
It is, yeah. So
Okay, I know the way, everyone. It's there's a big, meeting hall sort of thing.
Okay.
And Big Dummy will just kind of like, chicken walker its way down these stairs.
Down the stairs. Okay, I'm just gonna move you as a group for now, if that's all right. So moving down the stairs, you're going to head to that area. So heading northward, you head down this spiraling staircase and end up in an area at the bottom of the stairs. You can see the hallway extending to the north, and then down to the left, another hallway going to the south. And this entire area opens up into what appears to be some sort of shrine. As you come around the corner, you can just barely make out a set of stairs going eastward that kind of go up into an alcove, and the light within there is very warm, and there's like it doesn't look like lamplight. Like, there's almost like a warm sunlight within that room, and depending on what you do, Calliope, if you're just like charging ahead and continue going.
I mean, I'm nothing if not distractible by shiny light.
Okay. So as you get to the bottom of the stairs and start to head in that direction, you see that light there to the east. What do you do?
And I think I just like pause. I'm like, I think there's something over there. Let's check it out real quick. Then we can go.
Okay.
It looks like the companion's light a little bit, maybe. I don't know. maybe some other dragoon survived. Just let's poke our head over there. If we don't see anything, then we can head up there. You look worried. Kidam. It's gonna be okay.
I am.
And Calliope will go to poke her head around the corner.
Calliope heads to go look around the corner. Calliope, as you come around the corner, Rhea is kind of standing there with you, Kidam, sort of like looks at you for a moment. I think I might know what that is. I would like to take a look.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear any of that.
I think I might know what that is, and I would also like to take a look. I'll be right back. You're welcome to join.
Might as well.
Rhea will come stand next to you, Calliope, as you poke your head around the corner. Looking
You've
around.
been down here before?
As Rhea comes and stands next to you, and you both kind of look around the corner, she looks to you, Calliope. I haven't, but I've... And as she looks and sees what's ahead of you, I've heard this story before. And before you, you can see this, a broad flight of stairs going up into this alcove. And in that alcove, there is this warm sunlight kind of cascading down on top of a pristine, now this is a new vocabulary word for me, I had to look it up. Apparently it's pronounced a beer, which is like a thing for placing like a corpse upon. Did not know that. But there is a pristine bier, like a platform up there that can be moved around, and resting atop of it with her arms sort of clasped over her chest, gripping a sword between her hands, a massive greatsword, is what appears to be a young woman, not decomposed, perfectly preserved, lying atop this bier, gripping a greatsword. And the greatsword is kind of glinting off of the sunlight. And Rhea sort of becomes a little stoic, looks towards you, Calliope. Have you heard this story before? Do you know who that is?
I do not. Care to elaborate?
Yes, it's an old story of Elturel. No one knows her name. She's just referred to as the unknown hero. She was here before the companion. It's like a fairy tale that's told to us kids growing up here, about heroism and courage and being given strength through Torm. The story goes that she appeared one day when the city was being attacked by a dragon, of course. And no one knew what to do about it. And this woman appeared out of nowhere. And she strode out before the dragon, greatsword in hand. The dragon just laughed in her face. She had no armor on, nothing. And before the dragon knew what was happening, she started swinging, hacking. And the beast was stunned. It tried to fly away, but she was too ferocious and slayed it. I know it's ridiculous, but that's how the story goes. But the remarkable part is that when she came trudging back to the populace, all their arms outstretched and cheering for the great hero that appeared, she just dropped dead. And they talked about bringing her body into the cathedral, and they did what they could, but nothing worked. They couldn't bring her back. But her body never decomposed, so they brought it down here. I always just assumed it was a story. Maybe a little bit of hope.
Elturel seems to have a lot of, darkest hours and then saviors swooping in at the last minute, huh?
I know, and now I don't... She gestures towards it. Who knows, maybe this is some trick, maybe this is some bastardization or horrible, twisted thing. Maybe it isn't real.
Or maybe it is. Can I go up to the beer?
Yeah.
And take a look at this person's face?
Sure. You carefully make your way up the steps and stand there before this. I looked this up. I think it's probably made of iron. I just want to quickly look and see. Yeah, it's just a simple, essentially like a cart designed to hold a person. A simple cart made of wood and iron. There's a couple of wheels on it, and she's just resting there. And as you get up before her, you do feel like a little bit of warmth of sunlight on your neck as you look down. Not like it's a hot day by any means, but there's definite warmth there. And staring down into the face of this person, you can see
What's her expression? What's her
make an insight check.
attitude in rest?
Make an insight check for me on this dead body.
I rolled a 2, so 9.
Okay. What you see before you is a relatively small woman. She's sort of caramel skin, thick curly hair kind of cascades down over her shoulders, arms clutching the sword. She is a very stocky build, and her rounded face, full cheeks, looks at peace.
Now, I know this is probably just coincidence, but you did just describe my sister.
It is not your sister.
I figured.
Yeah. Not
All right.
quite, not the same features. Similar features, I suppose, but not your sister.
All right.
You're just making it.
Check her teeth.
Oh.
She's a vampire.
Oh.
Oh,
My
God.
first instinct would be to check the ears, actually. No.
It appears to be a human woman.
All right. I think I will just say a quick prayer of thanks to Torm, who I don't think I have ever prayed to in my life,
Yeah?
and head back to the rest of the group.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Would you all like to do anything else? Yes, Clyde.
Head up north, I think.
Okay. You all gather up and with Calliope in the lead, head northward. Moving through the halls with your fellow people that you've rescued, Trevik still kind of limping along, his calf looking not in the best of shape. You do get to a brief intersection here, and Calliope, you would know it'd be to the right. To the left, you can see more hallways extending out and alcoves branching off. There is a definite, musty, dusty smell down here of just a very old, almost airtight. Like the air down here is stale. But Calliope, as you lead the group into the room that you know to be the council area, you step inside. And can see the room is kind of in tatters. The table is still present, but you can see all the chairs, or many of them, have sort of tumbled over. There's some errant papers just scattered on the table and scattered across the floors. But there's no sign of life in this room.
I will grab those papers.
Okay. You scoop up the papers. Are you going to take a look at them?
Yeah.
Okay. You look over the papers. And they appear to be a draft of a trade agreement between Elturel and Baldur's Gate to establish a trade route along the river Kianthar for goods and services, and kind of like going through them. You can. This is what it. So going through them, you kind of see this trade agreement, and there's not really anything that necessarily catches your eye other than it is interesting that this is being set up because there isn't really like an official one between the two governments that is established at the moment. Sure, there's trade that occurs, but it's all through like private businesses and things of that sort. The other interesting of note is that you find some other papers. They appear to be kind of smaller that are scattered about, and these appear to be like, what do you call that? Like meeting notes, like, you know, somebody just taking notes of the meetings taking place here. Minutes, thank you. Minutes. And going through these minutes, it appears that there was a meeting between Older Raven Guard taking place with many of the high officials of Elturel. But it is very clearly noted as you're going through them, you kind of find some of the earlier stages of these meetings, that Thavius Krieg is not present, and Raven Guard is rather upset about this and frustrated. And as you kind of go through them, you can see that they can't finalize this trade agreement until Thavius Krieg is there, and you can see through the minutes that Raven Guard is becoming progressively more frustrated by this situation, whereas the other high officials are clearly trying to like buy time and like not make a scene and making excuses. It's hard to tell whether, you know, those folks necessarily know where Thavius Krieg or not, because you're just reading text. But so you can see that, and then the kind of last little parts abruptly stop, and there's no real, I mean, you can guess what it was, but there's no like description of, oh no, now we're getting pulled into hell. But there's just an abrupt stop to the minutes.
Drums sound. Yeah.
No, my favorite is the Monty Python one, the chiseled stone. Do you not know that one? The Monty Python and the Holy Grail? They're literally reading like it's carved in stone, and the guy's like, the guy whoever wrote it, right, says something like, I saw the beast with its many eyes, and and it's literally like, you know, etched in stone. Anyways,
I see.
Nothing like that, just an abrupt stop to the minutes.
Okay, well, we have reached the limits of my knowledge.
I have a really stupid idea.
Love to hear it. Let's hear it.
We start wandering around, calling for Feria.
Wait, who's Feria?
The last surviving acolyte of Torn, according to, I think, our friend, who's
Trevik.
Trevik, thank you. I was like, not the blonde man.
Seltern.
Maybe let's not, be calling out, but I do like the looking around.
Yeah. Do I hear anything, actually?
Make a perception roll.
Let's roll higher than a 2. That is technically higher than a 2. That was a total of 8.
You got a total of 8?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah, I mean, you focus in and try to listen, but you don't pick up on anything, just a stillness. You do hear Trevik kind of wince and lean against one of the chairs, and he kind of looks at all of you and just says, I'm sorry, I haven't been down here before. I wish I could be of more help.
I right one of the chairs and sit on it. It might also benefit us to just take a break for a little bit. If that fancy thing you did with the ring works, why didn't you tell me the ring does something? Anyway, we should be all right, at least for a little bit, right?
Yeah, okay. I was hoping that this would be easy. But you're right, Kira. Rest is praxis. Right.
Okay. Are you guys gonna take a short rest?
I think so.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pip, can you Oh, I don't need to talk to Pip. I am Pip.
Yeah.
Pip says, "Hey, Gilder," and like kind of like tells Gilder, "I'm not gonna try to do the accent. I don't know."
That's fine. Yeah.
Give us a whistle if anyone's coming.
Where do you want Gilder to go?
Let's see this map. I think, yeah, something just like.
Did I give you
How do
control
you
of Gilder?
ping? Just the first corridor where there's.
Oh, you should have control of Gilder. You can move Gilder where you want.
Bearish?
Bearish?
I think that's where Kadam pointed.
Here-ish.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
So
that seems
Gilder
fine.
scurries out to there. Go ahead and make a perception roll for me for Gilder.
Okay. Let's go. That's a 17 plus something.
Oh, nice.
Looking for the servant stats. It's through 3 layers of menus. Perception is +4, so that's 21.
Whoa. Okay. After about 15 minutes or so, Pip kind of, because Gilder can, what is it with the homunculus? The homunculus can communicate telepathically, right? If I remember.
Gilder
was-
can,
Gilder
but
can.
can't fly because of that. is
Oh,
what
that's
we
what
said.
it was.
Yes, that
okay.
was it. Yeah.
Pip kind of straightens up and furrows her brow and goes, Gilder is hearing something. Something coming from that way. And she points, I guess on the map, she points to the east. Here's some movement. Not quite sure what it is, though. Would you like me to have him go take a look?
Seems good.
If he can be real quiet about it.
Oh, sure, he can try. He's small as a spider-ish, so a big spider, mind you, but he can certainly try. Sure.
I'm definitely smoking by this point if we were taking a short rest.
Yeah, go for it. Go ahead and roll a stealth roll for me for Gilder.
21.
21 again! Oh my god, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Gilder is on fire
so
these last 2 sessions.
Gilder goes
true.
scuttling past and around the corner and starts heading in the direction of the sound. I'm just going to move Gilder for you to here. Coming around the corner, Gilder scuttles out into a massive space. There are oil lanterns lit throughout this space. What Gilder sees is a huge crypt with multiple alcoves to the left and right, massive pillars that extend up to the ceiling into a vaulted ceiling, albeit lower than the cathedral above. The ceiling here is maybe only 15 feet tall or so. Still big. And as Gilder comes scuttling around the corner and kind of peers around this room, he sees a sea of people all huddled and cowering, some of them sniffling and crying and trying to stay quiet. And you see one woman and kind of in the midst of this, still standing and checking in on everybody, and she seems to be moving about and like giving a hush symbol to some kids in a corner who are shivering and trying to like keep everybody quiet. And she keeps looking over her shoulder in the direction of where Gilder is. She doesn't notice Gilder, and she's just trying to keep everybody calm and quiet. In her left hand, she's clutching, so I guess she's just using one hand to kind of like keep people calm. In her left hand, she's clutching this absolutely massive leather-bound tome that's just filled with papers, that is locked shut with leather straps and a lock, and she's kind of clutching it to her chest almost like a safety blanket. And in her, I guess like sort of haphazardly dangling from her waist is a mace, but Gilder can clearly see the mace looks to be made of like glass and if it were to actually be swung at anything, unless it is magical, it would likely just shatter. But she's trying to keep everybody calm, and this woman is an older woman, and probably late 50s or so, matted gray hair. She's got sweat on her brow, big bags under her eyes, big jowls, and she is just trying to keep everybody calm as she moves throughout this place in her priestly robes that are in tatters. Gilder also notices there is a very faint sound of running water in this room, and as he kind of peers around, he sees two huge fonts with decorative statues of Torm sort of extending gauntleted hands outwards, and springing from the hands, water is trickling into these fonts. So that's what Gilder sees. And Pip will go, "Oh, I think Gilder found everyone," and will describe what Gilder is seeing.
Oh, they were in the next room. Ain't that the darndest thing? Always like that, isn't it?
Ain't that the darndest?
I'm never resting again. Let's go say hi.
Calliope learns the wrong lesson from so are you all
Let's go say hi?
Okay, you all are gonna go into the room. Okay, I'm just out of curiosity, how are you approaching this room? How are you entering the room?
I'm gonna fold Big Dummy back up into its briefcase and just trundle in, little old lady style, with my, messenger bag.
Mm-hmm. And what about you, Kadam?
I will be one step behind her. Well, in whatever last reserves I had to be calm and gentle and, kind to more people.
Okay.
It'll be chill. They seem like they're resting. We can just rest with them, get caught up.
Okay.
I hope so.
Okay, you all, with Calliope again leading the way, Kadam you behind, and everybody else trailing in behind as you start going not that far down this hall and into the room where Gilder saw everything. As you come around the corner and enter the room, the first thing you were greeted with is you can kind of hear sort of gasps of fear and shuffling and people moving as you're coming into this space. And then the pitter patter of feet, and you see this older woman come kind of pushing through the crowd and stepping in front of everyone, pulling out that glass mace, looking at all of you, and then letting out a sigh of relief as everyone else kind of collectively lets out a sigh of relief. And she looks up to you all. My God, what is her voice?
Hi, my name's Calliope.
Oh, thank the gods. My name is Feria. How'd you get down here?
It's a long story. We locked the door behind us, though. The devils didn't see us come down.
Good. And she'll slide the glass mace through the loop in her robes. It almost slips and falls to the ground. She kind of catches it and tightens the sash, gets settled.
We're looking, though. How long have y'all been down here?
I'm not sure. Probably a few hours or so. It's sense of time here since we've arrived it's been really difficult to track.
Yeah.
Oh, where did you all come from? Oh, hello, I recognize some of you. Oh, I'm so glad to see that you've made it. Was this all you could find?
Yeah.
Yes.
Just came from, and I'm going to mention the neighborhood that we dropped in. I don't know if the player, don't know the name, but Calliope definitely would.
That's fine, yeah.
Uh, these are everyone we could find kind of crossing the city from there.
Oh, all right. Uh, where did you come from?
Material plane. We're the reinforcements. Ain't a lot to look at, but
You've come from
we're
How did you get here?
magic.
Oh, right. Uh, are you able to get out?
Nope. Hoping to bring the city with us. But we have some ideas. We have a good idea of what's going on. Creed? Actually, maybe I should. Do you have somewhere more private to talk?
We should talk privately if we're going to
Yeah.
get into details.
Yeah.
Yes, we can do that.
We're also very tired. If you have any water or anything, that'd be great.
She kind of looks over at the fountains. You're welcome to take some from there. It's not unlimited, and it is.
I can make a fair bit of food and water tomorrow, or once I rest.
Yes, and the water from the fountains, we're kind of holding on to it. It is been blessed. So I believe if it were to be, it could be used as a weapon if things got desperate.
That's fantastic. That's amazing. And I look at the fountains with renewed respect.
Yeah, there are two of these fountains which are quite large. You suspect that you could easily fill at like up to 50 flasks of holy water with these two fountains.
Wow.
But she kind of looks back. We have a little bit of rations left and some barrels of water as well if you need that.
We have rations. We're all right for the moment.
Good. Yes, we can speak somewhere in private. Honestly, the best place I could think of is probably from where you came. There's a room up there. It might be the best spot. I just don't feel very comfortable leaving everyone here. I did my best to make sure that no one followed us, but I don't know.
No one did.
They're looking something awful. They had no idea where y'all got off to.
There were others though that got separated. It was quite a panic when we all came down here, and I haven't seen them. They went deeper within the crypts in the other direction, and I don't know where they are. And we've had some people go out, and they've returned shortly. They said they heard movement, but not any responses back. With the way everything's been going, I just am concerned. And she kind of looks around, and you can see in the alcoves there are wrapped and preserved bodies, numerous bodies in the alcoves in this area. And then kind of looks back. I just fear the worst.
I will do Eyes of the Grave and just kind of do a quick walk around.
Yeah.
That is.
Walking around this underground walking around this crypt here, there is no this is okay. There's no strong undead presence. But as you walk past some of the rat bodies, there is just like the faintest bit of necromantic aura and undead presence coming off of them. And you do your due diligence, kind of go up to those bodies in particular, inspect them closely. There's no sign of movement, and whatever amount of undead presence is within there is very, very faint, but it is nevertheless there. Make a perception roll for me.
We should have used these eyes on the preserved lady.
6.
Yeah, it's there very faintly, but clearly not strong enough to reanimate whatever this corpse is. And
do I sense intent either from these corpses or from the magic upon them? Like, is this they will rise up and protect Elturel and it's our greatest need, or is this there's gonna be a fucking zombie here sooner or later? I wouldn't say the fucking part.
Right.
Though.
Is this a Is this part of that ability, or is this...
No.
Okay, I would like then... Go ahead and just roll a wisdom check for me.
All right. So using a different d20.
Yeah! Oh!
We got zombies incoming!
You got some fucking zombies everywhere. No, you have no idea. You have no idea. Yeah. You just know that it's there, and it is super faint. Not enough to animate these corpses, but it is present.
What's that preserving bodies thing?
Oh, like...
That's where you put the coins on the eyes?
Oh, right.
That's part of the spell. It's not that, is it?
I mean, there's ceremony where you can ensure that a dead body won't become undead.
No, the other one. The one that lets you revivify later.
Gentle repose.
Gentle
Yeah.
repose.
It's not gentle repose.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like I would know that.
Yeah.
Just because I've cast that myself.
Yeah.
Okay.
But good thought. I will go back to Faria and say that none of these bodies are going to cause any problems anytime soon. There is some undead on some of them, but it's not... They're not going to get up and start talking anytime. Unless something changes.
We've heard from some of the survivors here of stories of being trapped in their homes and with people who didn't make it. And then hours later, they suddenly rose. So, I don't know. These have been down here for I guess, days now, and nothing's happened, but maybe Torm is still here with us.
Maybe so. I'm Kidan, by the way.
Oh, yes, Feria, lovely, and Calliope, and she goes around and makes introductions.
Mm-hmm.
Here, we'll fill you in the other room. Ray, could you keep an eye on things in here?
Yes, of course. And she will go and post up.
And if it could just be, I think, me, Pip, and Calliope.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I guess Lulu can come too.
Are you sure? And at this point, Feria kind of looks and eyes go wide. Oh, hello. Hi. Yeah, sorry, I was just keeping an eye on the hallway. I'm Lulu. Oh, hi.
Lulu's also a Hellrider from way, way, way back.
Really?
That's true, actually.
Yeah, I was friends with Zariel. What?
Let's talk in the next room.
Let's go in the next room.
Sure, everyone.
Okay, so all of you...
Well, that's one place to start.
So all of you go into the next room.
And yeah, I think we just fill her in.
Yeah, sure. Fill her in
the
on
whole
everything.
truth.
Yeah.
We play one of your recaps.
Yeah. By the end of this, probably, if you're telling her everything, I don't know, maybe like 15 minutes, maybe more. Cause
half hour into the long
half
rest.
hour.
Yeah, probably half hour, because she's probably going to stop, ask questions, and there'll be a bit more of a discussion. And by the end of it, she is sitting down at one of the chairs that she's pulled up. And it is a strange sight, Calliope, because it is this very small group sitting down at this immensely large table, and the room just almost looks emptier with you being in here. Just really showing into stark contrast the chaos that has happened here and the essentially like complete collapse of everything that was Elturel. She gives a bit of a recap herself. She informs you that upon the city being dragged into this place, into hell, and she's not entirely... She's pretty certain of where she is. It seems she's pretty certain it's Avernus, but she's like... She almost hesitates to say it out loud. It takes her a bit to eventually actually say it out loud. It appears that very soon after being dragged into Avernus, the section you saw, Calliope, of High Hall that was collapsed in was struck by some sort of flaming rock from the sky that could collapse that entire portion of High Hall, and essentially the majority of leadership was killed in one fell swoop. Leaving behind only the highest ranking person was, weirdly enough, older Raven Guard. In terms of those that survived, there were a few priests here and there, but they were all essentially either at her level, she being a very brand new priest. She is very new to all of this, and a couple of clerics like a little bit higher than her that had the ability to cast like higher level healing magic and maybe like some like second level spells, but no one beyond that. And she goes on to explain that, you know, within the first day, by the end of the first day, the city was being attacked by numerous fiends that seemed to have been coming up from below or various other places. There was also attacks by undead, and older Raven Guard kind of stepped in and marshaled the defenses that were left and was able to hold back any incursions on High Hall with whatever little defense was left. Eventually, survivors started trickling in, and they basically established High Hall as a defensible position, kind of a last stand, and they started gathering survivors and supplies. And about a day ago, Raven Guard left to the Grand Cemetery seeking out, hoping to find Gideon Lightward, as his chapel was located there, and that's where he was last seen. But the main objective that older Raven Guard was going for was a relic that is said to have been kept within the Grand Cemetery, known as the Helm of Torm's Sight. She doesn't entirely know what the relic is. She just knows that it is a holy relic underneath the main chapel, basically Gideon Lightward's chapel. It is housed within there and kept under high security. And in terms of what this relic is, let me see. I'll give you a little bit more on it. Yes, okay. Supposedly, she probably believes this. The relic, when donned, allows someone to receive visions from Torm and receive guidance from Torm. So Raven Guard was hoping that this may provide some insight on how to find a way out, find survival, anything like that, as all of the priests that were left within High Hall did not have the ability to, commune. They were not at that level to commune with Torm.
Was this relic found or received within the last 50 years?
No. It's been with the city of Elturel for generations, more than 50 years, probably a good 100 or more.
All right. And do you happen to know whether Thavius Krieg has had it alone in his possession in the last 50 years?
Oh, I have no idea. I've never even interacted with Thavius. Do you know where Thavius is?
I do, actually.
You do?
Yes.
Is he alive?
No.
Oh, right. And then recap, which we talked about.
No,
Shock.
I killed him myself.
Yeah, shock and sadness and all of that, finding out upon Thavius's betrayal and death. And
do we still have his head? Where did his head end
I
up?
was going to say, I'm not going to pull out his head, nor mention that I have it.
Did you cast Speak with Dead on it? You did.
Yes.
Yeah, we did the whole interview.
But you still have the head. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Well, you can do it every 10 day, and I was thinking that someone else might want to ask him some other questions at some point. I still have Eric's head as well.
Oh my god. Okay.
Just in case anyone wants to know what Duke Vanthamper is up to.
Are you keeping track of the decomposition? Or I know you cast Gentle Repose, but yeah.
Yeah, and that was 4 days ago about?
Okay, yeah.
And are
did
they
I
just
write?
like wrapped in like linens or something?
No.
Oh no.
I mean,
They're
it's
They're
just
just rolling
on my
around.
head.
Yeah. Oh my
That's
god.
not good.
Anyways, I'm trying to think
Siobhan,
of...
why every time you open your bag of holding? What's that smell?
It smells fine. Don't you worry.
Yes. So I'm trying to think of anything else that she
Okay,
would give you.
she mentioned other people going deeper into the crypts.
Yes.
How long ago?
Basically, so she describes when the attack happened, what defenses were left, held back the initial attack, and everybody was basically brought to the center of the chapel. Then it became clear that the defenders were not going to be able to... That was kind of the procedure. So everybody would go to the center of the chapel, and then the defenders would hold off the attack until eventually it was pushed back. When it became clear that the attack was not going well, and I think a guard would have come in and told them all, she was instructed to take everybody below. So she guided everyone below, and as everybody was going down, it kind of turned into panic, and there were individuals that sort of scattered, not knowing where they were going, and just disappeared into the crypts. So.
You know if this is the only entrance to the crypts?
There is one more, but I would have known if someone had come through. There's a secret escape tunnel in the main crypt where we're all currently hiding. It is underneath one of the fonts. And it leads out in the direction of the Grand Cemetery. It pops out... where does it pop out? I've never gone through. I was just told it was under the... it was under the western... I don't know if there's an east... The western font underneath the statue of Torm. I looked around and I think I saw something. I didn't try opening it, but yes. I was just told if things got really bad that I could send people through there, and yeah.
I have a question, I think, for both of you two, Calliope and Feria. If the official government of Elturel is all but gone, what about the unofficial government? Who runs the black markets? The smugglers, the thieves? Who's used to moving through the city, hidden and unseen?
I wouldn't know anything of that. I know there's crime in Elturel, but I don't know.
Do I believe her?
Make an insight check.
I'm scared of both of my d20s. All right, that's acceptable. Dirty 20.
Yeah, I mean, she is...
The lawfulest of lawful good.
No, she is... She probably knows more than she's saying, in that she probably knows, like, what... would know maybe some names of what the criminals organizations go by or things like that. They would be, like, probably even common folk would know about. Like, even common folk probably have heard the name the Guild, right? But she's clearly she's clearly like, it's like this is the internal monologue in her head that she's saying out loud of, I don't want anything to do with that, and I'm not, like, trying to deny it, like, no.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Calliope?
Calliope, make a history check.
Glim handled all of that stuff.
There you go. Oh.
Hey, have you seen Glim? Is he around?
actually, yeah. You know what? I will. Never mind. Sorry, you ask Feria that. Glim Gimbal, right?
Yeah.
Right, one of the Hell Riders. He was with us.
Oh, he was.
Yes. He went ahead though, in front of the group, and then disappeared. I don't know. I'm assuming he's somewhere deeper within the crypts.
Probably has some secret stash somewhere down here. We gotta find him, Kidam. If somebody knows what's going on around here and like has a plan or like has momentum somewhere, it's gonna be that guy.
All right. I am still interested in knowing who we should talk to if we're trying to get things done and people
that's Glim.
moved through the city.
Yeah, Glim.
Is he in with the underground?
Yeah, I don't know. Like if he's not, you know, I don't know. If you need something, you go talk to Glim. That's been my arrangement, and it's worked out pretty well for me. I don't know how he does it.
All right, and I will just glance at Feria again.
Okay. Yes. As I said, I don't know where he is. He got lost in the shuffle.
Yeah, maybe. Hey, have you seen any elves, dark skin, like tanned around here?
She gestures back towards the room. There's a lot of people in there. It's a big city. I'm afraid I don't know everyone.
Who are you looking for, Glappy?
Somebody I know. I'm gonna now that we're all caught up here, I'm gonna just go take a quick circle. And I would like to look for my friend.
So are you going back into the main room where
everybody is? I think we're all caught up here.
Okay. She scoops up that massive tome and kind of clutches it and walks back into the room. Are you all going in there?
I think I'm going to take a few minutes in here to myself.
Okay. Cool. So everyone else heading into the room, and Kadam, you staying in that chamber. Cool. So Calliope, you head into the room and start to go make the rounds through the crowd. And there's probably it's packed in here. There's probably 200 people, maybe more, in this room. And almost as soon as you start to go through the crowd, you see an individual standing up and just like watching you as you go, and as you look, you spot your friend. Did you have a description for what this person looks like? Because I wrote one down. I realized I didn't run it by you, but if you have a description, please.
Yeah. So this is an elf, just like really dark, like overbaked, like in the sun, like a wrinkly skin, which is like a little bit weird for an elf. Like they're not old, like they don't look old when they get old, I don't think, but like this person looks aged. So like lots of time outside, kind of like small twitches, but like not manically, just like they're being like shocked by electricity every couple minutes, like twitches of the head. Dark hair, dark eyes. Then like can't really tell what gender they are. They're like really in that like androgynous area. And they're excitable and insightful.
And I don't know if I got this from you, but I imagined them wearing like kind of a. Is this seem right? Wearing like a knitted coat over like a long flowing kind of smudged like.
Yeah, it's like outdoor clothes. Like think like they're like very practical, like a big like a modern equivalent would be one of those like really big, like fluffy, like goose down jackets that you like pull out of like a dumpster at Target
Sure.
kind of situation.
So like
They
a big like cushy knitted like coat kind of thing.
yeah, like this person has like slept in this
Mm-hmm.
coat before,
Cool.
probably outside.
Yeah. So
And Calliope drops her bag and just runs up and embraces and says, Petra, Petra.
oh, Calliope. And they kind of set you down and look you in the face.
I should have known. I should have known.
I thought I saw you come in. You just looked like you were up to official business, so I didn't want to get in the way.
Oh no, Petra, anytime if you see me, anytime, I've told you, come on. Oh, it's so good to see. I didn't think that you'd be down here. Like, I mean, of course, I don't know. Oh, blessed. It's good to see you.
It's so good to see you. You're supposed to be in Baldur's Gate, yes?
Yeah. Time's flowing faster up there than it is down here. So I've been around a little bit. I saw a floating island. It was like one of those old ones. Back when like people were like cutting off tops of mountains and like causing them to fly around.
I would say I would be impressed, but I don't know if you've seen where we are.
Yeah, there's a lot of floating stuff around. I'm just saying, like, you would have loved it.
That must have been quite a journey to get down here. Did you get Big Dummy to fly on down?
Yeah, it's over. We are teleported by a wizard. Hey, we have a friend. You're gonna love her. Hey, Lulu. Stop splashing around in that fountain there. That's important water.
Like
we're supposed to drink that. Get out of there.
Like a bird in a bird bath. But as the water like cascades off the feathers, it seems to sparkle with a golden light, and when it hits the pool, each little drop creates these ripples of golden light that kind of and she kind of brushes off. Everyone around that fountain is just like gawking, looking at Lulu, just like, what in the world? And Lulu, and zips up and flies over to the two of you. Hello, I'm Lulu. And Petra kind of, hi, my name is Petra. And bows, and they go, wow, what a delight. This is remarkable, Calliope.
Wait, I didn't even ask. How are you? Do you need anything? How are you doing? Are you hurt? How'd you get down here?
I'm doing quite well. Well, I don't live too far from here. Well, I spend most of my time not too far from here. And when all of the calamity started, I just strolled on over here, as seemed to be most people were running this way. So I found myself here.
You're like the crowds.
Yes, it was, in all honesty, it was terrible. But I have everything I need. Which reminds me, and they turn and kind of gesture towards one of the pillars, and you can see there are areas where people have, to the best of their ability, set up their sleeping mats, and there's like little keepsakes and things that they have. And Petra, they lead you over to one of these base of one of these pillars where they have a little kind of nest set up with some keepsakes, and you can see their pack that they usually have set to the side when you sit there and have your time with them in the park. And they rummage into this pack and kind of pull out a wooden box, and you can hear a bunch of things like clinking on the inside, and they hold it up to you. I did manage to bring this with me.
I was about to ask, do you want to play a game?
I would love to.
Excellent. Here,
and they unfold it and set it down and sit down, cross-legged, and pull out a small chess set that they, or I forget what the equivalent is here, but essentially a chess set, and unfold the box, pull all the pieces out, and start carefully setting them up, getting them into position, and just, are looking delighted at this as the two of you sit down. And Lulu flits over and sits down in between and just starts watching kind of back.
You can be referee.
Oh, good. Yes, I'm good at this. No cheating. I will notice. And you don't want to make me upset.
That's true.
I'm just kidding. It would be fine. I wouldn't do any. Oh, excuse me. And she wipes off a little bit of dried blood off one of her tusks. All right.
You would have thought that most of that washed up in the fountain.
Kadam.
We're gonna drink from.
Kadam, what are you doing in the room, in the conference room, basically?
I am sitting in a chair, arms crossed, head on my arms, just staring out into the middle distance and being alone for the first time in days and days and days. I'm not doing anything. No, I am resting.
Yeah.
And I will just sit there for another 15, 20 minutes before going back inside and kind of heart in my mouth looking for Valor.
Looking for Valor, okay. Kadam. So at this point, go ahead, you can take a short rest. We'll say that you finish your short rest as you eventually get up and start going back into the room. I'll wait for you to resolve the short rest, and then we will pick up with that.
Let's go.
I have an idea of what Pip is doing, unless you wanted to say so. I just wanted to do a brief little description of what Pip's doing before we resume with Kadam, while you guys do the short rest. I imagine in this time, because Pip doesn't really know anybody here, Pip has immediately beelined over to the fountain and is just inspecting it, running her fingers along seams, taking out little tools and looking and kind of poking into cracks. Olive, when you get a chance, can you roll either investigation or perception for Pip?
Yeah.
As she starts to look over this fountain.
+5 for either one. 11.
11? Okay, yeah. She finishes the short rest and seems a bit kind of frustrated and perplexed, and then kind of goes back and sits over on the other fountain and just keeps staring at the western one, eyebrows furrowed.
Pip had taken no damage.
Yeah. Of course.
Of course.
I'm also looking at, when does Little Dummy come back? Is that long rest or short rest?
Oh, I don't know. You'll have to look that up. Kadam.
Long rest.
As you're lying there and finishing up this rest and eventually get the energy to kind of sit up, you hear what sounds like somebody trying to be sneaky behind you in the hall, kind of and then pressing up against stone. What do you do?
I pick my head up and look around.
You look behind, and The stairwells going up into the hall behind you look empty.
Hello?
Shit, this is such bullshit. Of course, you always know when I'm coming. And then you see Valor poke her head out around the corner. You know,
I just burst into tears.
I'm happy to see you too. Hello, Kadam. Honestly, and she comes forward and pulls you in for a hug. I'm honestly not surprised to see you here.
I told you I was coming.
There was a part of me that always knew. She kind of pulls you back from the hug to look at you in the face. I think she's taller than you. Kind of looking down at you. Valor, where's my thing for Valor? She's a tiefling. I know that much. Here we go, Valor. Oh no, she's short, so she's about your.
Whoa.
Yeah, she's making eye contact with you. Middle
I
aged.
remember you being taller.
Yeah, she's got a tall personality. Short middle-aged tiefling woman, long curled brown hair, kind of sharp face. Oh no, I'm looking at Velma. Sorry, I'm looking at Velma. Where's Valor? I was like, wait a minute.
I don't remember the curly brown
Yeah, I
hair.
don't either. Where's Valor? Why don't I have Valor's description here? Oh my.
If you don't have it, I can give you what I have.
Yeah, that would be lovely. Let's go with that. Because I'm sure you have a. Yeah,
I do remember her being at least a couple inches taller than me.
I believe it, yeah.
Long, straight black hair, kind of like late 20s, early 30s.
Yeah.
Straight black horns that go straight up.
Mm-hmm.
Wears bright colors. Muscled.
Yeah, broad shoulders.
Broad shoulders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, looking down at you, this tiefling woman, I believe she has the red skin variety tiefling, looking down at you with those striking eyes that tieflings tend to have. She smiles, the kind of pronounced canines showing there. I was going to, I don't know. I figured you'd like a little time on your own, but I wanted to surprise you.
Thank you. Thank you for coming. It's so good to see you.
It's good to see you too. It really is.
Yeah.
I'm sure everyone asks you this, and I think I already know the answer, but you know a way out of this hellhole?
We have ideas.
That's
Nothing certain.
Of course.
I'm just staring at her.
She kind of.
I have pulled back from the hug, but I
Yeah.
think I'm just like still holding on to a hand.
She kind of looks around for a moment, then back at you. I couldn't help but notice that Lovelace wasn't with you.
Yeah,
Is
she didn't come with us.
she okay?
Last I heard from her, yes.
Okay.
That was a while ago. I don't know how much you want to know.
I mean,
Yeah.
you said a while ago. I mean, it's only been 3 or 4 days, right?
Time's been passing faster on the material plane than down here.
Of course it has. What's the damage?
When we left, it was late Eliant. Is that correct, Nathan?
Yeah. Eliasis.
Eliant's the next month.
Yeah.
Late Eliasis.
So still August, essentially.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Right. Okay. Great.
And we did get here relatively recently, so hopefully it ain't too much into Eliant.
Well, of course. Okay. I don't know what's worse. Is it better if, when you come to hell, things go slower up top so that it's like everything's an eternity, or is it worse that everything's going by so fast that if we even get out of here, everything's gone that you care about? That's probably the worst one, right?
Probably, but I have had that exact same series of thoughts.
Like, you would think it would be the other way, right? They want you to spend an eternity. That's how the stories go, right? It's eternal pain and stuff like that. But whatever.
Well, we know that ain't quite right, don't we?
Yes. You do notice she's kind of just absentmindedly. Oh no, never mind. Sorry, my mistake. I was thinking of something else. But yeah, she sort of scrunches her face. Well, what's the plan?
Come back and join everyone else. I got some people I want you to meet.
Sure, I would love to meet some new people. And yeah, she'll join you back in the room with everyone else. As Kadam enters into the room, yeah,
I'm not letting go of her hand.
Okay, yeah, that is very easily achievable. As Kadam enters into the room, what do Kadam and Valor see, Calliope? What are you and Petra doing?
I think we have like set up. I think like Calliope's like pulled out a flask or something, and we're like, whoever's turn it isn't has the flask, and the other person is. Wait, no, it makes more sense. If it's your turn, you have the flask. So if you take longer, you get drunker and do worse.
Oh my god.
And so you need to go faster.
To get it out of your hand?
Yeah.
Got it.
And I think we're wrapping up a game, and Calliope says, I got you something. I got you something.
What is it?
And reaches into Big Dummy and pulls out a book, Moonstruck in the Woods of Syrup Teeth, a stack of them.
Wait, was this the romance novel?
These are the romance novels
that
from
was
the Crooked Spine.
Yeah. And what was it? Was it vampires or werewolves or both?
Both, I think.
I think it's like basically Underworld, but
yeah.
It's like, in the woods of sharp teeth.
Petra, eyes wide, looks at it. Oh, is this the latest one?
Yeah. Okay, so I know that I've been like, you were warming up to it slowly. I promise. These are the ones that I was telling you about, where it like really starts cooking. Like you've done the homework now. You know who all the different characters are, but like this is when like things. It's like they start going outside of the woods, but like the woods follow them and get like bigger and bigger.
Yes, I am becoming quite fond of Winston. Is the one that I like of the two. If I had to pick,
Winston.
Right? If I had to, if I've heard people almost like like assigning a team. I would be on the team for Winston.
But he doesn't do anything.
What do you mean? He is the most lovely of the two, and has the most to say. I think, at least.
I mean, he has like 3 lines in the book. But
Well, but the
Maybe I
way
didn't
that
understand
he's
quite then.
described his eyes, it's in the eyes. You can tell. And he's always writing. Anyways.
Ooh, I'm gonna swoon for Winston.
So as this is happening, Kadam, you see this little interaction.
Yeah, I will bring Valor over and introduce Calliope and be introduced to Petra.
Yeah. And we'll see.
oh, you have Araya too.
Valor just well, hello, my name. Yes, I'm Valor, not Rhea. I don't know what the Rhea is. And Rhea is like standing there, like who's been watching the chess game and kind of looks up. I'm a Rhea, and I'm not a Rhea. My name is Rhea. It's lovely to meet you. All right, nice to meet you. And I'm not gonna do fucking 4 voices here, but
Please don't.
everybody talking to each other. Everybody's introduced, and yeah, you have reconvened with the current survivors here. Have finished a short rest. We're at 8:55 here, so I'd say we wrap up right there as you all reconvene and kind of figure out what your next plan is, your next plan of action, and we'll see what happens next time. As there is a moment of rest here, and levity, and smiles, and laughter, and just genuine good conversation. And there does seem to be kind of a warmth and relief spreading throughout the crowd, with the presence of this new motley troupe that has walked in, this strange little golden elephant that's flitting around and kind of bringing joy wherever she goes,
And drops of blood.
and that is where we're gonna end tonight here in Avernus. Thank you everybody for joining us this evening. We will see you next week. We will see what happens, and yeah,
Oh, we have to wait a whole week.
you have to wait a whole week. You always
We
gotta
found
wait.
our friends though. It was nice. We all got our friends back.
All right. See you all next time. Good night.
Good night.
Ooh, where's my closing scene? I never know where it is. Every
Ethan,
week.
how many NPCs do we have?
There it is. Okay.
So
Good
many.
night.